You are fighting with a very strong maternal image. So that's why I'm saying this battle that you have decided you have drawn, tread carefully. Tread very, very carefully. So, you are fighting with a very strong maternal image there, Brooklyn. You're fighting with a very strong maternal image of your mom. You're also going to be fighting with a very strong paternal image of your dad. And not just that. You are going to be fighting with the image of a man who played football like he ate and drank every day. That's the image you're fighting with. So hello everyone, you are all welcome today. Okay, so we're just going to head first into it. Brooklyn Beckham came out with an 8-paragraph communique about his parents and his family, Victoria and David Backham. Now, if you all recall, I've done this before. So this video, I'm not going to say too much. I'll just go to some things that I noticed that I'm just going to give my 2 cents, right? Listen, it's a family dispute. So if you recall in the first video, I actually did talk about the fact that, when it was cited that VB went and had the first dance. Now, there are conflicting reports to that because they said that the wedding was a 3-day wedding, number 1, and 2, that this was the 3rd dance and not the first dance. We are still yet to hear that. I'm still yet to hear anything different. But at the end of the day, corroborating accounts are stating that VB had the first dance, and it was Mark Anthony who did that. And if you all recall, I was very clear, and I said it in that last video. So, if you haven't watched it, I'm going to put the link here, right? And I'll put just a little snapshot of it here so that you will understand, you hear what I said, I questioned the fact that you took up that occasion rather than bring your daughter-in-law up, right? And be like, no, that was a mistake. It's your son's wedding. You guys paid for that wedding. And so rather than you do that, you danced with your son. The first dance, which we all know is the bride and the groom. It's the same thing even in Nigeria. The first dance is the bride and the groom before any other person. And so you get up and you confidently danced with your son on his wedding day while the wife watched. Victoria? See how I'm looking at you? And so we are now back to this 8-paragraph post that he put out on Instagram. I think it was 2 days ago. And it was in the early hours of the morning, right? And then we come up with this. But there are some things that I saw that I'm like, Brooklyn, maybe you should get I don't know, maybe you are not sure right now. So he said that his brothers were sent to attack him on social media. And then after attacking him, that they blocked him, on social media. And I think it was the other way around, actually. The last post you did before this one, where you announced that you didn't want to have anything to do with your parents, and that if they needed to talk to you, they should speak to your lawyer. Your brother, I can't remember which one, now came, I think either Romeo or I don't know, now came and actually put, wrote something under that post and said, you did that first, and then they blocked you because you blocked your parents, because your parents were trying to reach out to you. So I'm not sure. Maybe you should go back very well. The reports on this one is a little bit hazy. Then you talked about your dad's 50th birthday in London and that you guys were present, and that your daddy did not want to see you if Nicola was present. Here is what I'm going to say in a nutshell. You see, one thing, I remember when the first time Brooklyn actually made a public, statement, or made a public outcry. I remember his dad said something that, like, he should never, that family issues stay in the family. I remember there was a time something of that nature happened, and I'm just trying to adjust my lighting. I remember something of that nature happened, and I think his dad actually told him that whatever happens in the family stays in the family, and it's true. But again, I sense a lot of frustration from Brooklyn, and we can never know what that frustration is. And the parents have kept quiet. And in my last video, in that video when I talked about it, I said, that if it is these parents that I know, the one type if I have, you will cry a river. Nobody's going to come and tell you I'm sorry. Do you understand? So while you're busy doing what you are doing, remember that, nobody's going to come out and say, Uncle Kilon Sele, what's wrong with you? No, they're not going to do that. And, your parents, while they are very public, they are also very private. And they are very private when it comes to their children. So putting all of this out there, I don't know how it helps you. And I don't really know what you are trying to achieve with this. In all honesty, Brooklyn, I don't know how it helps you. I don't know how it solves the problem. I don't know what you were looking to achieve with this. But is this the right way to go? Personally, I don't think so. And we also have a lot of we have also another report that when Nicola was dating the Hadids, one of the Hadid's brother, what's his name, Anwar. It was also said that he was separated from his family during the period that they were dating, and that the family was really bothered about it and all whatnot. And eventually that relationship ended in 2018. So they dated between 2016 2018. And then we have Alana Hadid now, who has also made a statement to what you said. Now, if there's one thing I know about most of these Arab families and, from the Middle East, is that they have a very strong family structure, and that they usually are very close-knit, and, it's the larger, the more the merrier. And it's very similar to how we in Africa actually behave as well. And so why I'm saying it is that Alana is also part of that family, and she is coming out boldly to say what she knows and what she perceives to be the main issue here. Brooklyn, all I'm going to say is tread carefully and apply wisdom. You're still young. You're very, very young. You're not even 30 yet. Apply wisdom and tread very carefully. A lot of people have said a lot of things and said, well, if you were not a Beckham, who would come near you? This and that. It's true. It's not true. I mean, potato, yeah. But I would say thread very carefully. See, when it comes to family, there are dynamics to family. There, with an outsider, you can always say, I don't care. Who cares, and throw it all away. You can. But when it comes to family, because again, we don't choose our families. We don't. We are born into them. And by virtue of the fact that we are born into these families, there are certain things that we do, in our families, or our families do to us. People will talk about toxic family, toxicity. A lot of people will say a lot of things, right? Because it's social media. You've brought it to social media. But Brooklyn, like I said, thread carefully and apply wisdom. And I will keep saying that for the Peltzes, I said it in the last video, somebody left a funny comment. For the Peltzes to see what is going on and keep mute. And because you feel like your daughter is getting the better end of the stick. I'm African and I'm thinking like an African. I'm Nigerian, I'm thinking like a Nigerian. I'm Igbo and I'm thinking like an Igbo person. Where we come from, when a child starts acting up like this and you are married to their daughter, the parents of your parents-in-law, your father and mother-in-law, they stand in the gap for you. And they, as elders that they are, will facilitate to ensure that this beef is quashed. Because the health and the wealth of that marriage is so dependent on peace and love in that home from both sides. We see Nigerian movies where we see where mothers-in-law or fathers-in-law come and do the things they do because because the daughter is married to their son for what X or Y reasons, and you now come out to start carrying out, vengeance or being horrible to your daughter-in-law or to your son-in-law for whatever reason. It doesn't bode well, right? We see, because these are things that actually happen. It's not as if they are far-fetched. They actually happen, right? And so as Nicola's parents, the Peltzes, this is happening and you are quiet, and this kind of thing is happening, it does not bode well for both of them in their marriage. And you cannot become his parents now. By marriage, yes, but that's it. You are not his flesh, you're not his blood. You can't come into a quarrel or a dispute or a discord that exists in another family and then automatically you take sides. No. Neutrality is key. And why I'm calling the Peltzes is because in this equation, they are the ones who are the eldest. They are the ones who should be applying wisdom. They are the ones who should be cautioning. And that's why I said, in my culture, where I come from, this kind of things, we don't do it. We don't. You don't even start. I remember there was a story of Ashake. If I remember very well, there was a story of Ashake's dad who started looking for Ashake at the time when Ashake became very popular. And so many things were said about how Ashake, and Ashake did not say a word. Now, an elderly man, his father went and was people were coming to meet him for interviews. It makes absolutely no sense. You are preying on getting story. That was what upset me actually. It was the people who were seeking 2 seconds of, clout. And, telling, you just come out, no education at all. You just come out and start saying publicly, Ashake, come to your father, say, they see your father. No. This kind of things, there are people that are called elderly people, elders, the chiefs, the people. This is how it is done. Ashake did not say a word. Whether Ashake saw his father later, we don't know. Whether Ashake spoke to his father, we don't know. If Ashake has forgotten of his father or disowned his father, nobody knows. In family matters. That's all I'm saying. We also got story about the DJ Fat Tony, who had an interview. So DJ Fat Tony had an interview because he was the one who was the DJ for the wedding, and he was on ITV News, and he was telling he was giving details. You see people like this person, they are finished working. He has finished. You see what he has finished? What working? Yeah, he's not working again. It's done. Because doing this means you have lost confidentiality. The confidence that they gave in you, they put in you to do what you did, you just destroyed it. They will never work again. I don't even want to bother with whatever he's saying. You were the DJ. You were paid. It's not as if they gave you did DJ for free. You were paid. Mind your business. See what 2 seconds of fame will cost people. It will cost you a lifetime. A lifetime of feeding. Because this man, he won't work again. It's done. Listening to this person to corroborate the story, Brooklyn said, the story is already in every tabloid. Brooklyn too has confirmed it. So what do we need from you? Other than keep short and keep it moving. And the thing about it is that you've hosted a lot of parties for the Beckhams and you are here saying it. So for you to have hosted a lot of parties for them, which means that you are somebody that they hold in trust. And then you now come out on public television. Another thing I want to say is, this is where I'm going to end this video. Brooklyn, are you expecting your parents to say something? They won't. Are you expecting your brothers to say something? Maybe. Your sister? Hell nah. They will not say a word. And that is why you should be careful that you do not do or say things that you can't take back. Because your mom is your mom. And your father is your father. And no matter what, you see, the thing about it is that Brooklyn, you're in a battle where you're fighting with the public image your mother gave of you all as babies and as kids. The image that you're going to be fighting with is the image of a mother who loves her children and who loves her children. The image you are fighting is the love of a mother who was a star, and the moment her baby was born and her babies started coming, her career was stalled. You're fighting with the image of a mother who loved you so much that in the period of time that she wanted to have a semblance of herself, and they got a nanny while your daddy was in Spain, because that story made the rounds, she ran back to Spain to take over her home. You are fighting with a very strong maternal image. So that's why I'm saying this battle that you have decided you have drawn, thread carefully. Thread very, very carefully. So, you are fighting with a very strong maternal image there, Brooklyn. You're fighting with a very strong maternal image of your mom. You're also going to be fighting with a very strong paternal image of your dad. And not just that. You are going to be fighting with the image of a man who played football like he ate and drank every day. That's the image you're fighting with. That guy, your dad, do you understand that? He's a larger than life football star. That's the image you're fighting with. In Igbo, my father once told me this once, and I never forgot it. It's a proverb, and it came from a song by Oliver de Kokwe, for those who are Igbo, who know him. And I'm going to say it in Igbo first, and then I'll translate. And in that song, the proverb says, "Obere nwa chọrọ ife elu, obi ga-esiri ike ka ị maalụ." In translation means, a child who wants to fly higher than. Be ready to harden your heart. I don't know if you understand what I mean. If you want to, for what you want to do, and you're sure you want to do this, and you're ready to go the whole 9 yards, be ready to harden your heart. And that's where I end this video, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Do not fail to like, share, comment, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.